Eve Babitz was born in 1943 in Hollywood to parents who were Hollywood insiders. She was the goddaughter of Igor Stravinsky. She grew up among the rich and famous, and she wrote a lot about Hollywood in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Her first memoir is called Eve's Hollywood, and I have a review for you today. Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. Eve Babitz grew up in Hollywood. Her parents, a musician and an artist, were friends with Igor Stravinsky, Darius Milhaud, Bernard Herrmann. This memoir is a fictional hybrid of sorts. It covers her childhood and her school years up through her 20s. Her high school days were really spent running from the beauty of Hollywood and Los Angeles. She spent time in both Hollywood and in the Village, Greenwich Village in New York City, mostly though in LA. As an adult, she pursued art and writing, and she designed a number of album covers. In this book, she writes quite a bit about sex. There's nothing really graphic. There's a lot of gossip about who is and who is not sleeping with whom. She talks about the many lovers she had, not always discreetly. She names a lot of them. Some of them she obscures. And then she just has a number of vignettes about meeting famous people. Frank Zappa, Timothy Leary, Jim Morrison, Cary Grant, Joan Didion, Andy Warhol, Linda Ronstadt, Pauline Kael, among others. Her writing has a really easy style, really enjoyable to read, and she is a great storyteller. But she has some of these one-liners which make her so quotable. And I'm just going to share a few of these with you. They seem to be mostly about drugs and alcohol. On cocaine, there are only 3 things to say about cocaine. 1, there is no such thing as enough. 2, it will never be as good as the first time. 3, those first 2 facts constitute a tragedy of expense in ways that can't be expressed unless you've had cocaine. On marijuana, once when I testified before a Senate committee about LSD, Bobby Kennedy asked me how many people I knew smoked marijuana. Brazenly, I announced, everyone I know smokes marijuana, except my grandmother. On Rainier Ale, I got deflowered on 2 cans of Rainier Ale when I was 17. And perhaps my favorite, taquitos. Taquitos are much better than heroin. It's just that no one knows about them, and heroin is so celebrated. This book seems to be a mix of things that actually happened and things that were just inspired by events that happened. Eve Babitz is definitely an unreliable narrator, and she does not let the facts get in the way of a good story. And she was never one to shy away from what some people might think of as indiscretions. She lived her life fully. She lived for the present. The future could wait. And luckily for us, she wrote it all down. If this review hasn't convinced you to try Eve Babitz, I will definitely recommend it to people who like the writing of Joan Didion, especially Joan Didion's earlier works, and also people who like the memoirs of Patti Smith. If that's your starting point, you will enjoy Eve Babitz. Eve's Hollywood is a great place to start in her catalog. So that wraps up today's review. I'll be back soon with more reviews, maybe some tags. I'm due for some cowboy poetry. And so, until next time, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.
Yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yi-oh.